Let's talk about a side hustle. What if you could build one that brings in an extra 2 grand a month just by working a couple of hours a day? Well, today we are diving into how people are doing exactly that, using AI to write scripts for YouTube. It's probably not what you're thinking, so let's get into it.
So, the first question everyone asks, is this for real? I mean, a side hustle that pays that well without you having to quit your day job, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? But the answer, honestly, is yes. It's not just possible, people are doing this as we speak.
And let's just park on that number for a second. $2,000 a month, every single month. We're not talking about a one-time thing. This is a realistic, achievable target. Just think about what that could do for you. I mean, that's a mortgage payment, rent in a lot of places. It's the kind of money that really changes things. And here's the best part, the thing that makes this so appealing. We are talking about 15 hours a week. That's it. That's basically a couple hours after work each night. It's something you can build around your life, not something that takes over your life. And that is the key to a side hustle that you can actually stick with.
So let's do some quick math. You take that $2,000 a month and you divide it by about 15 hours a week, you're looking at an effective rate of over $150 an hour. That is an insane rate. That's what highly skilled professionals like lawyers charge. And it's all possible because AI is doing a ton of the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so the numbers look great. But that begs the question, where is all this work coming from? I mean, who needs all these scripts? Well, the answer is the absolutely massive, always hungry creator economy on platforms like YouTube, where every single video starts with one thing, a script.
And just take a look at this. There are something like 50 million creators out there. Now, even if we're super conservative and say only about 20% of them outsource their script writing, well, 20% of 50 million is still 10 million potential clients. This is not some tiny little niche. It's a huge and honestly an underserved market.
You know, big numbers are one thing, but what does this journey actually look like for a regular person? Let's stop talking in hypotheticals and look at a real-world example of someone who did this.
So, meet Sarah. She had a day job in marketing, so she was a decent writer, but she had absolutely zero experience writing for YouTube. But look at this timeline. In just 2 weeks, she was already on track to make $500 a month. By month 3, she'd more than doubled that. And in just 6 months, she totally blew past that $2,000 goal. Her story is so powerful because it proves you don't have to be some kind of expert to get started. You just have to start.
And look, Sarah is not some fluke. This table right here shows you the path. It's a ladder. You start out as a beginner, right? Maybe pulling in around $1,000s a month. But what's so cool is how quickly you can level up. Once you have a few projects under your belt, boom, you're in that intermediate tier, hitting that $2,000 a month goal. This is all about rapid growth, not getting stuck at the bottom. Okay, so how in the world do you actually write these high-quality scripts fast enough to make those kinds of hourly rates? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but incredibly powerful 4-step method that has AI right at the center of it. This right here, this is the secret sauce. It's a workflow. You start with what the client wants. Then, you let an AI like ChatGPT do the grunt work. It generates a solid outline, it writes the first draft. And this is the most important part, step 4 is where you come in. This is where you earn your money. You're not just spell checking, you're reading it out loud, making sure it sounds natural, injecting personality, making sure it has the creator's voice. This partnership with AI is what turns a 6-hour job into a 2 or 3-hour job. That is the real game changer.
And check out how easy it is to get going. Your whole toolkit basically is a ChatGPT Plus subscription and a couple of free tools you probably already use. You can run this entire business for less than $50 a month. The return on that tiny investment is it's huge.
All right, so you've got the method down. The tools cost next to nothing. Now for the million-dollar question. Where do you actually find these clients? Let's talk about the best places to look.
Okay, your 2 main starting points are going to be Upwork and Fiverr. And you can think of them like this. On Upwork, you are the hunter. You're actively going out and applying for jobs. This is honestly perfect for beginners because you're in control. On Fiverr, you're more like a shopkeeper. You set up your little gig and you let the clients come to you. My advice? Get your start on Upwork. Go hunt down those first few jobs and get those critical reviews fast. But hey, don't just stop there. Here are a few pro-level spots. Niche communities on Reddit, like For Hire, are basically hidden gold mines. But my personal favorite? Direct outreach. Finding a creator you really admire and sending them one single, personalized, well-written email, that can land you a dream client who pays way better than anyone on a platform.
All right, enough theory. Let's turn all of this into action. I'm talking right now. Here is a super simple launch plan you can start the minute this is over to get your new side hustle off the ground.
Here it is, your 3-step launch. First, you need a portfolio. So pick 3 YouTube channels you love and just write a sample script for each one. This proves you can do the work. Second, take those killer samples and build out really strong profiles on Upwork and Fiverr. And third, and you have to do this part, apply to 5 jobs on Upwork today. Seriously, don't wait. Momentum is everything. If you do this now, you could literally have your first paying client by this time next week.
So let's just wrap it all up. The opportunity here is real, it's massive, and the method is surprisingly simple. You have all the tools you need. The only thing missing from the equation is you taking that first step. Like the slide says, the key is just starting. Your first client isn't looking for some perfect, experienced pro, they're just looking for someone who's ready to go. The only real question left is that going to be you?